Welcome to Playfully Orange, our conversation about arts and culture here in Central Florida. Today, my guest is Jason Gregory. Hello, Jason.
Hey, Terry, how are you, sir?
I'm good. Well, we want to talk about your activities, but let's get a little background on you. Where do you come from?
Oh, good question. Every week it changes. I'm a military brat, so I'm from a little bit of everywhere. I was born in Charleston, South Carolina. Raised in Beaufort for a while, and my dad was in the Marine Corps, so we traveled everywhere from North Carolina, Virginia, Pennsylvania to all the way to Okinawa, Japan, where I graduated high school.
And where would you say you caught the bug for the arts or from film?
I think I've always had it. I remember growing up again in South Carolina. My mom dropped me off to see my very first film by myself, and this is me dating myself here. And it was Spike Lee's. Um, what was which film was it? Not Do the Right Thing. It was Spike Lee's. Um, I can't recall it. But it was a Spike Lee film.
Okay.
And I was just so drawn to it, and I said, oh my god, I love these characters. I can identify with them, and it made me want to become a filmmaker, a storyteller. So it's been in me for a while, and I went to college for film years ago, and then came out and did what every broke filmmaker does. You go into advertising, because you got to make some money. So I did that for a while, and then in 2016 something just kind of hit me, and I said, you know what, I've got to go back and do what I really want to do. And I went back and got my MFA in film production at the University of Central Florida, and I've been loving it ever since.
And so you're affiliated now with the Orlando Urban Film Festival. How did that connection come about? And tell us about that.
Yeah, so I was upon graduating in 2019, Marianne Eggleston came to me and proposed an opportunity for me to become president of the Orlando Urban Film Festival, and I jumped at the opportunity. It's such a fantastic festival that represents content creators of color. And I was president there for about 3 years, and just finally stepped down late last year, and kind of handed the reins back to Marianne, and she has just been running with it ever since, and pumping a lot of energy and great content through the festival.
Well, there are a number of film festivals here in Central Florida, and even more than one that focus on films by people of color.
Yes.
So, what is your perception of our independent or our burgeoning film community?
Man, it's fantastic. It's ever growing, and it's wild because there are no film incentives here. But the film community just continues to grow, and I don't know if it's the sun, I don't know if it's just the creativity or what, but yeah, I'm part of the Orlando Independent Filmmakers as well. And I remember when that group started, and there were probably 30 people that helped bring that together. And of course, Lenny and Sevilla LaRusso are the head of that organization, and now it's almost 10,000 strong, just a few years later. So it's an ever-growing film community that I'm proud to be part of, because there is so much creativity and so much content that's being brought out of Central Florida.
So, other than the Spike Lee film you can't think the name of, which
I cannot believe I can't. And it
so Mo Better Blues, Jungle Fever, Malcolm
Nope.
X,
Nope.
Crooklyn Clockers, 25th Hour, Inside Man,
Nope.
T-Rack, Black Klansman,
Nope.
The Five Bloods.
Hold on. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is.
Well, I was going to ask, other than that, what have been very memorable and impressionable film experiences that you've had?
School days. I can't believe I couldn't remember that. School movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sorry. What was your question?
Other than that, what have
Yeah.
been other, especially here in Central Florida, what have been memorable film experiences that you've had?
Oh, wow. One of my best was completing my thesis project. And I got an opportunity to film most of it in the town of Eatonville. And we kind of recreated certain areas in Eatonville to represent our fictitious town called Wellsville, which is a play on, Dr. Wells, who was, a prominent doctor down in Paramore, and then the Ville from, Eatonville. We just kind of put those together, and we created a big mural on one of the walls, and we got to bring, to involve a lot of folks in Eatonville in the film, and it was just fantastic. And that was back in 2018, and my thesis project was called Waking Up White, and it was a pilot about a Black family that happens to wake up white one morning, and they have 30 days to decide if they want to go back to their cultural roots or stick with the skin that they're in. And again, that's just one of my most memorable moments here. It was just fantastic.
And that project, besides getting you a degree, did it have any other legs? Did it go anywhere?
That project, yeah, it actually went to Sony Studios for about 2 years, and they sat on it and then gave us some fantastic feedback. And then it just kind of stalled for a little while, especially with everything that's happening in LA right now. Then you have the writer's strike, everything just seems to be happening back to back. But we're still pushing for it. And at the same time, I continue to develop other content as well.
So what's your latest project?
I am actually working on a crime, what I call a crime dramedy, or comedy about a family of Black women who are into criminal activities. It starts with the grandmother, who was an international jewel thief back in the day, kind of reminiscent of Doris Payne, who was a famous Black international jewel thief in her own right. And they're being blackmailed to create the perfect crimes. So that's kind of what I'm working on. I'm also working on a few documentaries and partnering with a couple folks to produce, some short films and feature films.
If well, I may know the answer, but what are we missing here for the film industry?
Aside from film incentives, I think that we need we need a studio. We need, somewhere where we can go and just, produce these films back to back to back, because we have UCF, which is where I teach screenwriting right now, and it's a great hub. Great minds coming out of there, for film. And then you have Valencia, great minds coming out of there, especially for Below the Line. And of course, we have Full Sail right down the street. We just need that connection. We need a studio where everybody can go and film and play together.
And what would it take to have that?
Money, film incentives, the right people coming together, grants. And honestly, between you and I think a great place to put that film studio would be Eatonville. It's a community of great creativity, great energy. And I would love to see, the residents of Eatonville, be able to take advantage of that, get more involved in the film community, and, bring in the film community to that area.
Well, Jason, it's great to talk to you, and thank you for bringing your passion and your creativity about film to our community here.
Oh, thank you, Terry. It's always a pleasure to sit down and talk with you, especially about film. And I can't believe I forgot School Days. That's very first film I went and saw on my own as a kid.
All right, great. Well, thanks, and thank you all for watching this version of Playfully Orange. Have a great day.
Thanks.